I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. I'm sadly mistaken, I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of BWT. I'm your host, Teddy, and today I got a special guest with me to go over the Rookie of the Year that was announced today, and we will also predict the remainder of the awards in the MLB. Jovan, how we doing tonight?
What's up, Teddy? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and looking forward to this discussion tonight.
Oh, yeah. Before we get into it, just want to make sure you guys are liking this video, sharing it with anybody that you may know, any Yankees fans. What's up? Any Yankees fans, Mets, Red Sox, anything, any baseball fans, even Pirates fans, because one of their guys won an award tonight. We'll talk about that in a few. I also want to make sure that you guys are going and showing the rest of the Refuse to Lose community some love. We've got plenty of shows that cover different sports. We got CTC, Call Talking College. Gives you everything you need to know about college basketball and college football. We've got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Gives you everything you need to know about fantasy football. We have RBO, Real Ballers Only, everything you need to know about the NBA. We've got Dave's Doghouse. It's basically a show that highlights the highlights and then puts people in the doghouse for saying or doing some crazy stuff. And then we have Kings Talk with Joe Jordan, Sacramento Kings fan. He will be going live tonight, I believe, after their game. And then we also have Unfazed, which make sure you tune in to that show tomorrow night because it will get chippy between AJ and Joe as their NFL teams just had a good matchup on Thursday night, the Eagles and the Commanders. So make sure you tune into that. And then, of course, you cannot forget about In the Red Corner with the boxing show with Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. And then the main show, Refuse to Lose. They're basically our sports center of the network. They go over everything in the sports world. They go live every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys are tuning in. Subscribe to the network so we can keep you in tune with everything that is going on in the sports world. Now we get to talk about the Rookie of the Year. In the American League, it was Luis Hill from the New York Yankees. And in the National League, it was Paul Skeens from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jovan, what are your thoughts about the awards that were given out tonight?
I think both were well-deserved, especially Paul Skeens. I mean, the dude just dominated as a rookie. But I believe Luis Hill also deserved his award. I would have loved to see my guy Willie Abreu in there in the mix. But, I mean, I'm happy it went to a pitcher. Luis Hill came out of the four hole and he rotate in the Yankees rotation, and he dominated and he did his job all year long. That's after letting go of Luis Severino last season. He kind of just went right into his spot, and he did just as well, maybe even better than him. So I think this was a good award given to Luis Hill. And Paul Skeens, like I said, I mean, he's going to be a great talent to watch moving forward. I think he's going to, I mean, it's crazy to think like a guy like that, you watch him this year and you're already like, dude, this kid's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's that special, and he throws absolute gas. To be able to throw 100 miles per hour for 5+ innings is definitely special. So I think both of these guys deserved it, and I like the choices.
Yeah, I agree with them as well. There were some people that thought that Jackson Merrill should have deserved the award over Skeens, but what Skeens was able to do coming in, not even playing like the entire season, it was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the numbers that he put up was just incredible, and every time he pitched, it was must see TV. It was must see. Like I remember during the season, I got the MLB app, and every time, every fifth day, I was watching Pirates games. I don't care who they were playing. I was watching Pirates games just to see what that guy was going to be able to do in that day. His stuff is absolutely disgusting. His pregame routine is unlike any other. He's been doing it since his college days at LSU. And it works for him. And the only thing that I hope for him is that he stays injury free, because that, to me, is the only thing that's going to derail his career. And Luis Hill, he stepped up big time, big time. You mentioned Luis Severino leaving in free agency to go to the Mets, but then we lose out on Cole, right? We were scrambling around like, yo, who's gonna be that fourth, fifth guy? Who's gonna be that guy? And Luis Hill was extremely dominant throughout his first 6 to 8 starts, and then he hit that rookie wall. Right, he couldn't really get out of the first inning. It was kind of like watching Luis Severino last year. Like they just couldn't. I don't know what it was, but then he bounced right back after a couple starts. And Cole played a big role in him bouncing back because he helped him out with his mechanics and stuff like that. And if you're throwing a 92 mile per hour changeup off of a 90, 99, 100 mile per hour fastball, it's very hard to hit. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be I can't wait to see him pitch next year. Um, he definitely deserved this award. I know you said Abreu. You can, like I said in the chat, you can definitely have an argument to put him over Wells, but the impact that Wells had to even be in the top three to me was very significant. He stepped up as a four hitter when Giancarlo was out, and they had guys pitching around Judge and Soto in the same game, and then it was like, all right, I'll pitch to Anthony Volpe or I'll pitch to Verdugo in that spot. But Austin Wells, he stepped up, and I'm glad that there was 2 out of 3 in the for the Yankees to represent the rookies. Shout out to all the finalists: Jackson Merrill, Jackson Churio, uh, Austin Wells, and Cowser. I think his name is Kyle. If I'm
Colton.
Colton Cowser, yeah. For the Orioles, shout out to them for having a spectacular season. And the game is in great hands, man. This is like watching these rookies play. It's gonna be fun to watch these next couple of years, and I just can't wait for the next batch of rookies this coming season, because there's some prospects coming up in
Mm-hmm.
the in both of our organizations that could potentially win this award next year. Number one prospect in all of baseball, Roman Anthony, for the Red Sox, and number 9, Jason Dominguez. Right, gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But
Definitely.
we go to Manager of the Year, which will be announced tomorrow night. For the American League, the finalists are AJ Hinch from the Detroit Tigers. Sorry if I butcher your last name, bro, but Matt Quatraro from the Kansas City Royals, and Stephen Vogt from the Guardians. Who do you got and why?
So I actually went with Stephen Vogt. For him to kind of it's like this Guardians team. They just know how to play baseball. They don't have the crazy names other than Jose Ramirez and Stephen Kwan. Other than those two guys, there's really no one that really like makes noise. They just really the coach is able to coach these guys to play the game productively. Whether it's bunting, stealing bases, getting timely hits to score runs. The pitching staff always pitches well, especially you got Emmanuel Clase in the back of that bullpen as well. Um, I think also Terry Francona left them in good hands.
Right.
But for Stephen Vogt to be able to go to the ALCS this year with that team that he had, it says a lot about his team and how he coached this year. So I'd have to give Manager of the Year to Stephen Vogt for the AL.
I like that. I'm gonna go with AJ Hinch. This was a team that was down and out. They had what was it like 1.2 chance of making the playoffs after the All-Star break. They were able to go into the playoffs, sweep the Astros, have a 5-game series against the Guardians. Right? Nobody predicted this team to get to where they got to during the middle of this season. And for him, he's been a winner, right? He knows what it takes. And it's clear to me that he instilled that in that team of young dudes, and they're going to be a very, very interesting team to watch this coming season. We go to the National League. We got Carlos Mendoza from the Mets, Mike Shildt from the Padres, and Pat Murphy from the Brewers. Who do you got and why?
So for the Padres, I went with Mike Shildt. I had to go with Mike Shildt because I love the it's hard for me to say rivalry when we're Boston and New York fans, but the rivalry between the Padres and the Yankees. I'm sorry, the Padres and the Dodgers. It felt like this year the Padres were able to really set a tone against the Dodgers to show we're not the little brother anymore. We are competitive. We are someone that is going to be here to stay, and you should be on your P's and Q's when you're playing against us. I
Yep.
think in years past it wasn't so much that was the case. So I think Mike Shildt really did a good job with boosting these guys confidence and making sure that everybody in the clubhouse felt like they knew they belonged, and that they're a top team in this MLB. So that's why I give this award to Mike Shildt.
Yeah. This was tough because Murphy was a first-time coach after Council goes over to the Cubs. And I've heard nothing but great things about that guy. Pedroia came out and said during the season that he's a great guy to play under. There's this guy that I follow on Instagram that we've had conversations back and forth talking about baseball. He actually lives out in San Diego. And he said that Pat Murphy is a great coach as well. And Carlos Mendoza, I watched him be the bench coach for the New York Yankees, so I know that he is a great guy as well. But I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I'm going Mike Shildt. There was so much expected from the Padres. And for them to actually step up to the plate and take those expectations and kind of meet them, right? Because their season was not a success, right? There was 29 teams that didn't have a successful season in my eyes. But for the Padres to go out there and, like you said, that little rivalry between the Padres and the Dodgers is one that people need to watch, right?
Mhm.
That playoff series was crazy. It was crazy. It's I wouldn't say it's anywhere near the Red Sox Yankees, but it's starting to look that way. Just because like the whole Manny Machado thing, like oh he left there and then went to the Padres, and then he had that fan chirping him while he was on deck, saying that that was his checkbook in his back pocket, and he guaranteed that the Padres would win before the Dodgers won. So I mean he was wrong about that, and just the way that like Tatis was kissing all the fans, and the fans were throwing stuff at Tatis. Like there's no room for that in the game, but it's that vibe that it's like, all right, we don't like these guys. They know we don't like these guys, and may the best team win.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go over to Cy Young, which will be announced Wednesday night. We've got Screwball from the Tigers, Seth Lugo from the Royals, and oddly, a closer, Emmanuel Clase from the Guardians for Cy Young is remarkable. Uh, Granted, his season ended in shambles, but he's there. He's a finalist. Who do you got and why?
So for the AL, I selected Tariq Skubal from the Detroit Tigers. His year, I mean, everyone was just watering at the mouth to get this guy at the trade deadline. AJ Hinch is probably so happy that they never moved the guy.
Mhm.
That would have threw a wrench into all their plans. They would have been banking on the two prospects they probably would have got for him for the next season. But I mean, this guy is an absolute horse. You can count on him every day to go out. I mean, every 5 days to go out and pitch, and he's gonna be your ace. I mean, it's hard to find that ace, and when you do, don't let him go. You
Yep.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and Tariq Skubal is that guy. I think he's gonna win the Cy Young for the AL. But I do want to give my flowers to Emmanuel Clase. Being in the conversation for Cy Young as a closer is unheard of.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out to Carl with the Detroit Tigers. I
Yep.
know he was amped up every 5 days. I saw Carl going in on the chats,
Yeah.
just blowing the chats up. It's school ball day, and you know you had a good chance of winning that day when he was on the bump, especially when it got to playoff time. That was some pretty exciting baseball to watch with those dudes, and it would have been a Cinderella story if they had pulled it off.
Oh yeah.
And then for the do we want to go to NL or
Not yet. I'll talk about AL.
all
I'm
right?
agreeing with you on this. Screwball
Yep.
was extremely dominant this season. Like you said, every fifth day came out, shut the doors down. You needed maybe one or two runs as an offense to win that game. Um, even though, look, Carl, we talked about it this year. He never beat the Yankees, so I had to throw that in there because there was a couple games where he started, but he never came out with the dub. So, but he's lights out. He's lights out, man. He's got tremendous stuff. He bounced back from a couple injuries last year, and for him to come out and just throw absolute gas, his fastball and then his changeup and his curve is just his arsenal is ridiculous, especially from the left side. Very hard to hit as a hitter. And then we go to the National League. We got Chris Sale from the Braves. Shout out to the Red Sox for paying his contract this year. Paul Skeens from the Pirates and Zach Wheeler from the Phillies. Who you got?
So for the NL, I went with Chris Sale. 225 Ks, comeback year,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely beasted, set the league on fire this year. I
Yeah.
mean, the dude was nothing to play with this season. Being a Red Sox fan, I was in my feelings a little bit, just like, damn, we let another one get away from us, man.
Yeah.
Like, and he just had an unbelievable year, but I think he really needed that change of scenery. I'm happy for him. He did always have that chip on his shoulder. Always told us he owed us the world. He won that World Series with us, and he did try. I could tell he really did try. He's really frustrated when he was with the Red Sox that he couldn't do what he wanted to do with us and pitch the way he's supposed to pitch. But we gave him to the Braves, and he absolutely went off. I'm just happy they didn't win a World Series with him because then I would have cried.
Yeah.
But 225 strikeouts, over 200 innings pitched. I mean, that's all you can really ask from Chris Sale. And I mean, the dude's slider was on another planet. Like
Always has.
he pitched unbelievable this year.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see him be successful this season. And then I think honorable mention, second place. I got to give that to Paul Skeens. Zach Willer's a beast too, but I mean, what Paul Skeens did this year, he's just a freak, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. Triple Crown winner as a pitcher, wins, strikeouts, and ERA. Both these guys, Screwball and Sale. So I think this is pretty easy for the voters. If there's anybody that votes for any of these other guys, they were paid by somebody because these guys were ridiculous all year. And Chris Sale slider, man, I wouldn't want to be a hitter stepping in the box against him, man. I'm just glad that he was able to be healthy this year. He was always hurt in Boston. He even got hurt riding a bike one time, which is like, what? It's just crazy. But I feel like he definitely needed that change of scenery for him to flourish, and he really held it down for the Braves when Spencer Strider went out for the year, and they had a bunch of injuries in their starting rotations as well. Max Fried went out for a little bit, and for him to step up and every fifth day take the ball and go at least 6-7 innings, it was huge for that team because they had a lot of injuries throughout the entire season, throughout the whole team. So they definitely needed that guy, and he was that guy for them this year. And we go to arguably the easiest of them all, MVP. But we got in the American League, the finalists are Judge from the Yankees, Soto from the Yankees, and Bobby Witt Jr. from the Royals. Who you got?
Pains me to say, but got to go with the choke artist, Aaron Judge. MVP, man. He went off, dude. He went off. Regular season boss.
Yeah.
I mean, how many bombs did he have this year?
58.
58 bombs. He's chasing greatness once again, trying to beat his last record.
Yep.
I mean, he's a monster. Once he gets a hold of his swing, it's like a train. You're not gonna stop him, dude. He just catches fire and he just keeps going. Pitches that are even balls, he still hits them out. So I mean, he had an unbelievable season this year. Lots of home runs. I just want to see him step it up in October.
Yeah.
That would turn it up a notch for me, for sure.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to Bobby Witt Jr. for this season he had this year as well. He definitely gave Aaron Judge a run for his money. Soto did as well, but I think Bobby Witt, I mean, he was on a tear this season. So, yeah, man, just shout out to those guys, but Aaron Judge definitely going to get the AL MVP in my eyes.
Yeah, Bobby Witt, he won Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, and he was the leading guy in average this year in the American League. There's only been one shortstop to, I believe, to even do that in his career, and he did it all in 1 year. And that shortstop was Alex Rodriguez, who was known for being a very good shortstop until he came over to the Yankees and realized that I gotta play
basement.
I gotta play third base.
He was my favorite player when he was on the Rangers, man.
Yeah, he was a dog.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Judge. He was being booed by everybody in the world in April. it got so bad that you were trolling me every day in the chats, and I was like, dude, it's Aaron Judge. Like, just relax, just relax. I'm not worried. And like you said, once he found his swing, man, he took off. He's a very, very streaky guy. And his 300th home run of his career was a ball that was right in on his chest, and he pimped it. But he took that one personal because they walked Soto to get to him. Like, it's like, first of all, why are you walking Soto to get to Aaron Judge? I didn't understand the reasoning behind it. Shout out to Grady Sizemore for talking all that trash with the White Sox when he took over. But yeah, this year, 58 home runs, batted 320, 140 RBIs. He should have 3, but a little midget out in Houston robbed him of one. But Judge gets his second MVP of his career. And then we go over to the National League, where again I believe is very easy. We've got Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers, Francisco Lindor from the Mets, and Ketel Marte from the Diamondbacks. Who you got?
Yeah, Ketel Marte. I was kidding. Nah, I gotta go with Shohei Ohtani, man. MVP for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the home runs, stolen bases. I think him taking the year off of pitching he was able to hone in on just hitting, and he really showed what he can do if he just focused on hitting. I mean, he tore it up. He tore it up all season long. He was putting up video game numbers, and it was like anytime he stole a base, it was a short thing. It reminded me a little bit of Ronald Acuna, to be honest. I can't wait to see him back next year. I hope that guy stays healthy because he can give Ohtani a run for his money as well in the MVP votings.
Yep.
But yeah, I got to give Ohtani the MVP for this year. He killed it, man. Shout out to Francisco Lindor. Incredible season as well this year. Yeah, man. Hopefully, I mean, Ohtani is just a different beast. He's a different beast, man. It's like not even fair. They should have like a second MVP after him. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, how do you even do it? Especially if he's pitching. If he starts pitching next season and he's hitting like this, I mean, it's not even fair. He's like a cheat code. How do you not give an MVP to him every single time?
I don't think he'll be able to put up these numbers while pitching. Just because of the toll that it takes on your body just to pitch, right? We saw him last year. He played in a doubleheader against the Tigers. Sorry, Carl. But he pitched a shutout in the first game, and then he hit 2 home runs in the second game in, I believe it was 3 innings. And after the second one, he hit it, and he started cramping up. He couldn't even run around the bases. Like, it was tough for him to run around the bases. So I don't think he puts up these numbers while being a full-time starter, but maybe the Dodgers use him in another role, which I think they should. But yeah, this
I would love to see him close, dude. If he just was a closer and just DH'd every day,
that would be
just take him out, put him in there, close the game.
That would be crazy.
And
that's honestly what I think the Dodgers should do. Just preserve him. He's coming off of his second Tommy John in 7 years. And there was a lot of stuff going on with him when he was in LA and he was pitching, right? He had the blister problem. He had 2 Tommy Johns. He would always complain about his back. Like, it's
a lot. Thing too, that the whole organization over there in LA, the Angels,
yeah.
It's just poorly ran. Like, poorly ran. Like, they should have already said, you know what, we're gonna rebuild and just take it for what it is, dude. They go ahead and they give all these guys money, and they're doing nothing. They're just sitting there. Mike Trout was hurt all season long. I mean, granted, he could be the greatest player in the MLB, but he's injury prone like crazy. The worst of them all.
Rendon.
You know who the worst of them all is?
Rendon.
Oh my goodness, dude! This dude. He's the worst.
The owner came out and said that he has to earn his way to play.
You're paying him. You're paying him hundreds of millions of dollars. You need him on the field.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
be like, dude, you're going out there. I don't care if you're hurt. You're having mental breakdowns or whatever the case may be. You need to figure it out. We're paying you hundreds of millions of dollars. Like,
Yeah.
you need to be on the field. I don't care if you do terrible, you do great, whatever the case may be. You need to play.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no ifs, ands, or buts with that guy.
Mm.
But like I said, they should have just taken it. Look at the Red Sox. We took our time. We rebuilt for 4 or 5 years, and our system is in a great spot right now.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the years to come. It kind of reminds me of the Orioles. I feel like the Orioles were going to rebuild for like 20 years.
Yeah.
But the Red
Yeah.
Sox did what the Orioles did in about 5 years. So I'm excited to see the Boston. It's starting to get off topic, but I'm excited to see the Boston Red Sox
Yeah.
the years to come with all this young talent we got coming through right now.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be another show in the off season. Definitely going to get together with some Red Sox fans and preview next year and what you guys want to do in the off season and go over what the season was last year and stuff like that. So I'll definitely be in touch with you for that. And we can,
Especially when we land that special free agent. You know who I'm talking about.
dude, you're not. Yeah.
His
You
name,
wanted
it rhymes with photo. It rhymes with photo.
Bro, you wanted a special free agent last year, remember? You shared a bunch of, he's got ties with New Balance and New Balance and
dude.
New Balance. And, I was like, dude, he's not coming to Boston. Like,
you're right, dude. You're right. Well, I heard the word full throttle, all right? And we did the absolute opposite of that. We were driving economy. We were going economy, not full throttle.
Yeah, I mean.
We were driving a Prius around town.
Jeez.
There's no Corvette in sight, dude.
Yep. Well, the MVP will be announced on Thursday night, so make sure you tune in for that. I kept tally of who we predicted, so we will. I'll tally it up at the end of the week, and we'll see who got it right. If you guys were here for the last prediction show, it was Gold Glove, was it? Or no, Silver Slugger. Mm-hmm. Silver Slugger. We tallied that up. Me, Dave, and Jovan. I won 16. I had 16 right. Jovan had 15 right, and Dave also had 15 right. So it was close. Goes to show that we know what we're talking about on this show. So make sure you guys are tuning in. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another episode. We will be going in depth into everything that will be happening in this off season, trades, free agency acquisitions, a lot of guys, a lot of teams meeting with this one guy, and everyone knows who it is. It's Juan Soto, right? All these guys giving 3-hour presentations and all this junk, and we can sell you this. Look, I have Brian Bayo, and you can hit behind Rafael Devers, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's not Aaron Judge. It's not Yankee Stadium. It's not the Pinstripes. He gets the vibe. He wants to finish a job in New York, in the Bronx, not just New York, not Queens. He don't want to play for no blue and orange. He wants to play for the Pinstripes, navy blue Pinstripes. So.
He has to remember, he's going to be looking at the future, though. You have to remember that.
Of course, but we got
12 to 15 years with this team that he's going to sign with next.
Hey, we got a bright future as well, man. Don't sleep on our prospects either. All right. But yeah, this was a great show. You got any last words before we head out?
Nah, just thank you for having me on again. And shout out to Refuse to Lose. I always appreciate coming onto the show, being able to talk about baseball. I love this sport, and I'm very passionate about it, and being able to speak about it, it's great. And I hope everybody that's watching this right now continues to tune in. Shout out with some comments, do whatever, and we'll always get back to you guys. And we like to hear other opinions too. And we also got the group chats that are just always fun, and they're always popping. So you guys should definitely jump in those too.
Yeah. And if you want to know how to get into those group chats, they're on Instagram. We got baseball, NFL, NBA, hockey, WNBA, college basketball, college football. We got a F1 racing one. And then, of course, the main VIP. You have to become a member of the network. So hit the link and join up. There are 3 tiers. They give you multiple benefits depending on which tier you go on. So, and real quick, my last words are going to be, Javon, you, not you, Javon, Joe's brother.
Yep.
You came out on Refuse to Lose and said that Steelers and Ravens is the greatest rivalry in sports. You're crazy. Red Sox, Yankees got it. No doubt. The Red Sox and Yankees have been rivals since like 1908, right?
Yep.
Like Baltimore just became a franchise maybe like, I don't know, like 20 years ago, before they were like I think they were the Indianapolis Colts or something like that. And then, like, don't get me wrong, you guys are a great rivalry, but to go out and say you're the greatest rivalry in sports, it kind of
makes you want to throw up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, as a Red Sox fan, we had pent up aggression for over 86 years against the Yankees. Okay.
Yeah, legit. Longer than some franchises have even been around.
Exactly.
But yeah, this was a great show, man. I am already ready for the next one, right?
Yes, sir.
Come back and do it all over again. Make sure you're here as well. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.